Hey everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Alicia Elizabeth and I'm so excited that you've decided to join me here for another video. If this is your first time here today, welcome. I want to encourage you to subscribe. If and only if you've liked what you've heard after watching this video all the way through. If you are a returning subscriber, hey boo hey. I want both of you to get comfortable, grab a snack, your pen and paper. We have a lot of things to discuss and I think it is going to bless you tremendously. We are unpacking 13 Things Mentally Strong People Don't Do by Amy Morin. If you did not watch the first video, or the first two I should say, the information is found below in the description box. The first point that she makes about 13 things mentally strong people don't do is that they don't waste time feeling sorry for themselves. Today we are going to segue into the second point, which is they don't give away their power. I'm gonna be honest, I have recorded this video 3 times. One, because the teacher in me wants to make sure I'm clear, okay? 2, because the teacher in me wants to make sure I'm clear. And 3, because I want to make sure I am making space to be transparent. That is constantly on the forefront of my agenda outside of cultivating a space where we talk about these things and foster a community around doing the hard work, which is sometimes the hard work. I want to make sure I'm not teaching as to remove myself from the discussion, right? And so I'm not going to ever post something that I think is crap. I want this to bless you whenever you get to this video. I want you to be able to understand what you should take away from my videos. And so I'm willing to record multiple times to make sure that someone who finds this video is like, okay, I got it, makes sense, right? So I want to share that because I think it also helps me bring the teacher mode out to just really practice transparency and honesty. And I want it to be a discussion, right? So point number 2 is that they don't give their power away. I would like to say that over the last 9 to 12 months, I have been working on and mastering boundaries. And also maybe in the last 5 months, understanding how powerful I am, understanding how much I shift spaces, and understanding that you can't guilt trip me, right? And so I'm making that face because I'm processing in front of you. This section is about boundaries. Though in the opening, Amy doesn't say it, the grown woman in me reads it and I'm saying, this is all about boundaries. I'm even looking at some of the marks I made when I first got this book, which was probably 3 or 4 years ago. And I'm like, thank you, God, that some of these are no longer issues for me, right? So she opens up with a story about a woman. This woman is having issues with her mother-in-law. I'm not married, so I don't have a mother-in-law, but I am not a stranger to having a partner whose mom overstepped boundaries, right? And so what I want to encourage you to do while I recall the story to you is think about a person or people who have the authority to run rampant in your life. And a lot of you are probably like, no one has the authority to run rampant in my life. And the reality is we give them that power. So people are running rampant in your life. How do I know that someone's running rampant in my life? Because they can impact your mood. They can change your behavior and your posture, okay? And so again, quick disclaimer, this series that we're doing, every series that we do with the book, it'll only be beneficial if and when we're willing to be honest with ourselves about what's going on, right? So this woman's talking about her mother-in-law. She's sharing with the therapist that basically her mother-in-law undermines her parenting and her authority with her kids. She comes over unannounced. She says whatever she wants. And like a good woman that Lauren, that's the lady's name, wants to be. She's not, argumentative. She's not saying anything rude back. She's complaining to her husband about it. Her husband says, well, you know how she is. She's talking to her best friends about it, and they've officially began to call her monster-in-law. And so she finally gets into counseling because she thinks that she needs to control her anger, because that's the emotion that is coming out of this. She's angry. Only to find out that it's not anger, that she needs to be more proactive in setting preventative measures while also less reactive towards her mom-in-law, right? And so the first thing I want to ask you is, where's your time going? Amy had her create a chart that shows where her time is going in the literal sense, right? So I'm at work 8 hours a day, I work out for an hour a day, like whatever that looks like. And then she had her do another chart that said, okay, regardless of how much physical contact, where does your energy and time go towards a topic or a thing? And what she found was that though she only saw her mother-in-law for X amount of time, she was spending more time talking about, thinking about, revving up for, cooling down from encounters with her mother-in-law, which means her mother-in-law was running rampant in her life. A lot of us, if we are honest, have experienced that. I remember having a manager who, though I only seen her once or twice a week, baby girl definitely would stress me out 10, 15 hours a week because of how much authority I had given her in my life, in my space, in my day-to-day doings, my coming and going. Like, it was tied to my income. Rampant. Partners that I've had, guys that I've talked to, friends that, that relationship should have ended. Just running rampant, doing what they want. Where's your time going? I want you to take the time after you watch this video to make a quick sketch, right? We have 24 hours. Most of us sleep anywhere from 5 to 8 of those hours every day. And then you have work. Most of us do at least 8 hours a day. So right there, we're knocking out an easy 16 hours. Where is your time going? Literally. And then I want you to think about the amount of time you think and put energy towards a thing. And then I want you to ask yourself, am I being productive with my time? Who has power in my life? Because that is an honest and great way to assess who is in control. That's good. Okay. But I also want to talk about this list. Empowering other people to have power over you. That's what the section is called. Amy says, giving other people the power to control how you think, feel, and behave makes it impossible to be mentally strong. Do any of these points sound familiar? You feel deeply offended by any criticism or negative feedback you receive, regardless of the source. So this sounds like someone who they give their power away to people on social media. They give their power away to the person who comments on their outfit when they're leaving. They give their power away to, what do you think about this outfit? I don't think it's cute, but go ahead. Power, just zoop. Other people have the ability to make you feel so angry that you say and do things you later regret. I'm gonna be honest, I can be a hothead sometimes. And like I said, we're being honest, depending on who you are and the impact I give you, the power that I give you in my life, you can absolutely take me off the scale. That's nothing to be proud of. She says, you changed your goals based on what other people have told you that you should be doing with your life. Anybody who's in college watching this, anybody who graduated from college with the degree they didn't want, who had the power to tell you what to be studying, what you should be doing with your free time? How many of us are not spending enough time with our gifts and our passions because no one's affirmed us in it? Even though Christ does that every day. How many of us are doing things that seem respectable on a resume? Who told you what you should be doing with your life, and that's now what you're doing? Because that's who has the power, right? The type of day you're going to have depends on how other people behave. Any working person can attest to this. There's someone, even if they don't even come to your office, your cubicle, your room, whatever it is, that depending on them determines the day you have. So you go into work ready to fight. You go into work in ready zone. That is power. That person hasn't even seen you. They could be out sick. They could stay home that day. You've started your day around them. When other people try to guilt you into doing something, you reluctantly do it, even if you don't want to. I remember my pastor telling us about doing things begrudgingly and how, even if you do sow into the church financially or with your time or your gifts, if the root of it is begrudging, it's no good. Y'all, when I tell you that changed my life, because I said, wow, like I knew it, but to hear it in that way, so simple, it made me reposture myself that before I agree to anything, I really go to the root. Like, do I want to do this? And if I have any turmoil, I'd be like, okay, God, you got to fix this or I can't do it because it's not going to be blessed anyway. Like, you're looking at the heart of the gift of the giving, not what was given. When other people try to guilt you into doing something, you reluctantly do it even if you don't want to. You all, I'm telling you, the past, I would say since December, and y'all can go back and look at my videos, I have been learning to really say no. No to people, no to relationships, no to things, and really learning to be honest with myself and honor what I'm feeling. Because every time I have not honored it, I've always regretted it. And anybody who's in my close circle will know. So whether that's showing up to an event, traveling, giving something away, going out my way to do something, every time my gut or the root was like, no, sis. And I say, yes, sis. I'm sick about it. Later. You work hard to ensure other people see you in a positive light because much of your self-worth depends on how others perceive you. If you missed the gifts of imperfection, you need to go check that series out on my channel because that literally cancels this. We don't wear badges over here of being perceived as positive or, perfect or the strong one. We're canceling that. That's canceled all year, next year, for the rest of our life. So no, I'm not working hard to ensure that anyone sees me in a positive light because my self-worth does not depend on how you see me. Thank you. You spend a lot of time complaining about people and circumstances you don't like. No, I'm not. I can change my circumstances. I am not a tree, and I don't have to be in relationship with anybody. The last part of that, since of course I'm trying to be honest, I'm still working on. I still am going through this pruning process even now where I'm asking God, God, help me to get rid of relationships that I've hung on to out of convenience or out of time under the belt that don't serve me. And when I say serve me, I don't mean I have to necessarily benefit from it, but that this isn't depleting me, right? Or this relationship isn't by way of just assumption that it's going to stay. That is a hard boundary to set, but a very necessary one. You often complain about all the things you have to do in life. Next, I don't have to do anything. And I think that mindset comes with being older. I wish I really settled into my spirit when I was younger that I don't have to do anything. I would like to think that I'm a very appreciative person, so I know when someone goes out their way for me, I'm like, you don't have to, and I really get that. But I think I struggled in returning that mindset to myself. I don't have to do anything. Ooh, that's freedom. And it doesn't make me a nasty person to have a boundary. You go to great lengths to avoid uncomfortable emotions like embarrassment or sadness. Nope. Going back to the gifts of imperfection, the vulnerability series, I want to feel all those emotions. I need them. They help me. I don't want to teach myself to not experience those things because I need them. They make me human. They help me own my story. They help me practice authenticity. So if I'm embarrassed, I'm embarrassed. If I'm sad, I'm sad. Thank you, God, for allowing me to feel the varying emotions that come with me. You have difficulty setting boundaries, but then feel resentful towards people who take up your time and energy. I'm gonna come right back to that one. You hold a grudge when someone offends you or hurts you. Okay, maybe I need to come back to both of these. Let's go back. You have difficulty setting boundaries, but then feel resentful towards people who take up your time and energy. This is absolutely, I think this is tied to struggling, okay. I think this one is tied to wanting to appear a certain way, right? So a lot of her points in this book, I think we're going to be able to cancel out because of the previous series we did, which I will reference. I no longer have difficulty setting boundaries or feeling resentful towards people who take up my time and energy because I am not letting people know when I can't show up for them, right? So you can't come into my life, take up my time and energy by dumping and just demanding on my time and not checking on me, or coming into the space assuming that it is possible that I need you to lend your ear, or I may need you to lend your shoulder, because that imbalance in our space that I once honored as being the strong friend or showing up for you has now, I've now learned that is a form of so many things being wrong in my perception, right? And so let me clean this up so that it makes sense. If you're someone who has difficulty setting boundaries, that's the first place. You have to think about yourself. And I'm not encouraging you to be selfish. I'm asking you to think about the people who have access to you, which is a privilege. Understand you should ask yourself, I'm sorry, I just had a thought. Sorry. Ask yourself, does this person come to completely deplete me, or is this space a space of reciprocity? Do they come in and think about my well-being even though they are in a heightened state mentally? Because I am extending my time and my energy and any of my resources to them. And so is this something that they take for granted? Is this something that they abuse? Is this something that they don't ever turn around and offer back to me? If you think through that and you're feeling like the relationship has an imbalance, you need to set a boundary. At my age, all calls aren't getting picked up. Calls aren't being made. Trips aren't happening. Things will get canceled. The first time I see sign of an imbalance in our relationship. She says, you hold a grudge when someone offends you and hurts you. This is where knowing Christ is so helpful, because when I do feel offended or my feelings are hurt, the Holy Spirit teaches me to bring it to Him to assess if I am offended, like rightfully, like that was inappropriate. I see maliciousness or malice. I'm sorry, y'all, I'm tripping today. Behind this action or what was said, or am I offended and hurt because it was the truth and I don't want to grow up, or I don't want to deal with it, or I don't want to address it? Okay? She says, retaining your power is about being confident in who you are and the choices you make despite the people around you and the circumstances that you are in. Anytime you don't set healthy emotional and physical boundaries for yourself, you risk giving away your power to other people. Each time you avoid saying no to something you really don't want, you give away your power. And so with those points, that story, and my little chit chat around it, I want you to ask yourself, have I been giving my power away? Who have I been giving my power? Who has power? Who's running rampant in my life? And where do I need to start setting some healthy boundaries to take my power back? I'm looking forward to unpacking this some more with you on Thursday. Until then, please like, subscribe, and share this video. I'm going to say this and then I'm going to close the video. We are still on our journey to getting to 1,000 subscribers. I believe that we can do it. I'm very patient in my pursuit, but I also feel a burning, a passion for people to have a space such as the one we're cultivating here, where we talk about things that, you know, it's not easy to say that I give away my power. It's not easy to say that I'm not currently mentally strong. It's not easy to say that I do some of these things, right? But what is easy is to say I do it and I'm working on it. Oh, you too? Me too. Oh, wow. And so I really want you to share these videos with people who you think will benefit from even just having the space to talk about it, to listen in, to be like, okay, I didn't think about it that way. That's the point of it. Because when you're winning and you're growing in your circle, I want you to have the mindset that you want other people in your circle to do the same thing, because where they are impacts where you are, right? Where you're going impacts where they could be going. And so it should be a matter of sharing things like this so that we can foster that community around mental strength, right? Like, I send these videos to my people like, yo, are you giving away your power? That's the question at hand. If you are, let's talk about how you can stop doing that, because that means someone's running rampant in your life, and that is a problem. And I guarantee you it's hindering your ability to dream, your ability to be creative, your ability to be productive, because you're allowing someone who's not paying your bills, someone who has no heaven or hell to put you in, to run rampant in your space, in your thoughts, in how you posture yourself, and they get to decide what your day looks like. Let's get to this. Let's talk about this, because you're in my circle and it impacts me. All right? So, as always, thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, and share. See you next week. Bye.